Hello, this is Douglas Robinson. I am a solutions consultant with Beyond 20. Today we will be reviewing how to add attachments from the Attachments Manager into a blueprint or a map in Cherwell. Now, if you've played around in the Cherwell Rich client enough, you may have noticed that under the Tools menu, you'll have an Attachments option to open up the File Attachments Manager, and you can use this to store certain files that are going to be important for various users across your service desk to use while they're working with Cherwell. You can also use this Attachment Manager to store files that will go along with email templates that are being used to send out emails to the system that may need attachments that are going to be stored here in the system. Or you may be using the Attachments Manager to manage a document repository for one of many different self-service portals in Cherwell. Now, if you open up a blueprint in the Cherwell Administrator tool and look at the list of managers, we don't have a manager for the attachments in the system. We do have a document repositories manager, but we don't have a clearly defined attachment manager in this list. So if we wanted to take a file such as this adding a VPN connection file and add it to a blueprint to move from one system to another, or add it to a map because it's relevant to data that's within the map, and add it to a blueprint, then the way that we would have to do that would be to open up the Document Repository Manager, and then we'll take a look at the Options menu, and then the Attachment Manager option is actually going to be hidden here in the Options menu of the Document Repository Manager. Once we open that, we can see all of the normal attachments that would be within the system, and we can add them to the blueprint. The one constraint here is that you will not be able to add documents that are within a document repository to the blueprint. But if you have files that are in your global, team, user, or even blueprint scope folders, you can add them to a blueprint and move them over to another environment through the use of a blueprint or a map. And speaking of maps, I will go ahead and create a new map so that I can show you that the process for adding attachments to a map is exactly the same as it would be, so that I can show you that the process of adding attachments to a map is exactly the same as it would be within a blueprint. You simply open up the Attachment Manager by going to the Options menu within a blueprint, and then you can add all of your attachments to the map. Again, you don't have the option to do this with items in a document repository. And also, if you do end up adding attachments to a map, you do get these same conditions and options available as if you were importing another type of definition into a map, such as a one-step or an expression. You get to define what happens when you do or don't, or you get to define when it's going to get imported and what happens if it already exists on the target system, and you can define conditions. And that is everything that you need to know about adding attachments to a blueprint or a map. If you'd like to see other videos like this one, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to post them in the comments section below.